any,
I'll make a motion to adopt the minutes.
is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Public comments?
Yeah, I would like to say something, or present something, I should say. Do I approach up there or do it from here?
Well, you can do it right from there.
Okay, just like to present that the somewhat recent factual findings, starting with Daily Star, interviewed 5 local real estate agents, and just the fact alone that leases are signed has already hurt real estate, and people basically just don't want to even buy property that's connected to anything tied to fracking. It's driven the cost down, and basically for those that would need to get out if fracking does go through, we couldn't even afford to do so. That's one article. Man-made earthquakes in Arkansas is another article. EPA finds that fracking likely polluted Wyoming aquifer. Very recently, Pennsylvania gags its physicians from exchanging information in their findings on chemicals related to fracking and other issues. Very recently, Halliburton publicly announced they are moving their headquarters to Dubai, along with the gas and the profits will be leaving the U.S. And learning a lesson in Dimick by the Daily Star, which is pretty factual. And I guess that's about it. My point is the facts are out there. They're coming out almost on a weekly basis, and I just feel that should be seriously considered. I'd be glad to leave these with you if any of you aren't familiar with these.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes. We'd like to thank the board for its prompt response to our FOIL request. We are in the process of reviewing, and the information will be contacting the board for a meeting. Every month I have to decide whether to come here to this meeting or stay home and hit my head against the wall. The choice gets harder and harder. We are saddened and disheartened by the board's total disregard of 3 years of fact-based information, including what Rich has just given you, 4 public presentations, and numerous speeches before the board. We must have fallen down on the job for a member of the public to come before this board last month and tout the benefits of gas drilling in Smyrna. The wells in Smyrna are vertical. Vertical drilling is not what this is all about. We have been and will continue to be trying to prevent horizontal hydrofracking from coming to our town and forever changing our rural landscape to industrial wasteland. We constantly hear there's a majority in our town which favors gas drilling. Where is this majority? I guess they see no reason to defend their opinions and their leases in this town board, which is already on board, so to speak. But we of opposing views would like to hear their defense, see their numbers before we and our clean water are literally sold down the river. Could we please hear from you, the majority? Thank you.
Anyone else?
Not to get away from the subject, I'd just like to speak to someone about a bridge being washed out by my place. I discussed with somebody, Filer Hill Road. You familiar with that? Filer Hill.
Yep, it's, we put a truckload of dirt on either end of it.
Yeah.
This is the first board meeting since it's been washed out. It's a seasonal road, so it's closed now anyway.
Yeah.
It got washed out with a rainstorm.
Yeah,
There's no sense in fixing it, like it is, just to have it washed out again.
Well, that's
But
my point.
I need to talk to the board about it to see
Yeah.
what we're gonna do about the remedy for it.
Yeah, I've been there like 29 years, and as you know, it's washed out 2-3 times a year.
I've been on the job for 4 months, it's been washed out twice.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see any sense in fixing it back the way it was without talking to the board.
Yeah, hear me out. The bridge has been washed out, like I say, for many times over the years. And all the fill that's been put on it,
It's filling up the stream between there and Sampson Road.
it's down by my house in huge piles over the last 29 years. They've done different things to try to fix it, and nothing seems to work. It's a seasonal road, and it's only like a quarter-mile stretch,
Mhm.
and there's a road that's open year-round, right next to it, parallel alongside the hill there. And
10? County Route 10?
No, well, it goes
Sampson?
along Sampson Road,
Okay.
goes right alongside of it.
That's Little Filer that got washed out.
Yeah, yeah,
Goes up Mary Wells and down west.
yeah, that's it. And it gets washed out, like I said, 2-3 times. It doesn't have to be really a storm, just a heavy water.
Well,
rain.
it was 2 weeks ago it rained and it was gone.
Gone, yeah.
We had water coming over the road in 3 places.
Yeah,
And the next morning we went out and looked and I found that. And personally, I don't see any sense in fixing it
that's my
the way
point.
it was again, but, you know, like I said, I haven't talked to the board about it yet.
But the point is, it gets washed out so many times, and it's a seasonal road, it's only a quarter-mile stretch right there, and this road that's open year-round next to it, and there's no property houses or anything there for anybody really needing it.
Mhm.
I was going to look into maybe make it a dead-end road and let that stream do its thing. Never say
Come down from the
taxpayers'
four
money.
corners and have a turnaround, a dead end, yeah.
Yeah, and let the stream get the way it wants to run. And a lot of that stuff that you poured on the bridge over the years, there's huge piles out by my house and started eroding my bank and stuff. And I can't see it changing, you
Now,
know.
where do you live, on a Guy Pike place?
Wyland's old house.
Oh, you live in Harry's old house over in Harville.
Yeah.
Now, who owns the property on the other side of the creek? Because we tried to close that road a few years ago, and whoever it was at the time said they might build down in there, and they didn't want it closed, so we didn't actually use it.
There's about 5 owners down through there on
Is
that
there?
road.
Well, now,
Quite a few
this guy owns that whole property up through there now, from the city, from there to the four corners, I don't know, 300 acres, whatever now, whatever, down through there. It's been all bought out, but,
Is it the same guy that owns Bill Hughes' farm,
yeah.
old farm?
Yeah.
That's all one guy now?
All four corners.
Oh, is that the real estate people from Texas or wherever?
Yeah, yeah. It's a
And that's
small
why you
road.
don't want it sold, because he might develop it. That's
Yeah,
the deal.
but, like I said, the full-time road right next to it, you know, Sampson Road,
Right.
and all that debris and stuff washing out over the years in the back of my house, and now it's possibly to go to my bank.
Well, below Sampson Road is out of its banks too, heading towards Maple Grove. That's part of the problem with that road too, is above there, heading back towards, the end of Star Corners, where the beaver pond is.
Yeah.
All the debris is filling up, I think, maybe Hughes and whoever had the farm on 10 kept that ditch down through the middle of the fields cleaned out, and it's not cleaned out anymore.
It's full, it's
So
full now,
everything could go everywhere,
Right.
and it ended up getting focused on, and
and it's anywhere it wants to go.
I don't have the remedy for it yet,
I
but
don't
we
see
know
much,
about it.
because it's so flat open that anything we've done is just gonna go around it.
Mhm.
So I just maybe suggest make it a dead-end road right there. Like I say, it's only a quarter mile right there, it's a stretch.
Yep.
But maybe, something to think about.
Do you own on both sides of the county road side of that road?
No, just the side of the house is on there. Yeah. Crossroad there, a guy from the city owns that.
If you own both of them, we could close that
Does he live up
on the short side.
in the barn?
That's another.
That's another
I
guy.
know, this is a guy that's,
Down the city.
yeah, say his name in a minute, Bob Green.
He was a
Was
partnership.
affiliated,
Yeah.
still affiliated with him.
Maple Grove.
He realty.
Yeah.
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 But that road is closed.
It is now from seasonal road. It's
Right.
closed, only opens up.
I mean, going up to Harry Warrell's.
No, I'm saying from the county road down to from Harry's house, the old house they lived in, there, the
Yeah.
little rancher, down to the sluice itself is not very far.
Yeah,
If we could just close that, not have to maintain 2 dead-end roads.
But years ago, we closed the other one.
I know we did, up over to Rhett's, Chet, and your old
Yeah.
place up there, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
So
closing
just have
that.
access to it from the big filer, from the four corners down,
Right,
have a turnaround,
yeah, I understand
and
that.
get those tubes out
I
of
was
there.
talking about the other side,
Yeah.
not have to maintain that little, or,
Yeah, it's safe.
Maintain the longer side down to the stream, and just, because from Little Filer on to 10 is a bad intersection anyway.
right, if you could close that, it'd be save a lot.
Bad stop sign there, yeah, dangerous anyway, coming by there.
Yeah, that's a bad intersection, but like I said, we don't have the remedy yet, and I haven't made them aware of it, but, we're aware of it, and
Yeah, look into it.
we're gonna see what they wanted, what we wanted to do about it.
Yeah.
And I don't see any sense in, I see no sense in fixing it like it was.
It's been going on down for, 30 years and just as we watch it
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah, if you just look into it and, thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Jen Myers. I don't know if all of you know me, just so you know. And I'm currently working on a project at the Otsego County Fair. I have approached the town of Morris about taking down the sheep barn. I grew up there my entire life, so it's kind of important to me, and I'd like to get it done before I move to Slovakia in June. So I'm kind of pushing to get it done really soon. So I've talked to John about it, and I've also spoken to Keith Dara, the fire chief, about burning it. And tomorrow I will be approaching the fair board about where we can burn it if it's possible and stuff like that. So I just wanted to present it to the town of Morris.
What did you say, Jennifer, was wrong with that? That the building was...
The building basically could fall down at any time. It's actually in very horrible condition. I haven't actually created the pamphlets I've been working on for it yet, but the building, like the roof is waving because all the boards are warped and stuff like that. There's flood damage from 2006. You can still see all the lines from it. The pens themselves, none of the gates even line up to the actual boards where they're attached to. Sorry. And also the sheep that are kept there just during Fair Week, they have a tendency to jump a lot, and most of the time they end up jumping out of pens and getting loose and stuff like that, and they also get into other sheep pens. And there are certain animals that are certified that cannot come in contact supposedly with other animals that aren't certified. So that's another situation we have to address. Things like that. I know one year we had a sheep that actually broke its leg because it jumped up and it's like got caught in the pen. So situations like that, we'd like to get it fixed. If you go down and look at the sheep barn, you can tell just looking at it, it's kind of disastrous.
Sylvians are rotted right out of the thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as far as tearing it down or not tearing it down, town and village don't have anything to say, that's solely owned by the fair.
Yeah.
And they have complete control of that.
Yeah.
But the town certainly has benefited from the fair. We still have 2 sand piles there.
Yeah,
But I was brought to something attention today by Lukey Miller that there is one little bugaboo you might want to look at, is there is asphalt shingles underneath that tin.
There's actually a whole part of the building that isn't even tin yet, so you can still see the shingles.
Right, and those shingles can't be burned or anything. They'll gotta be picked up one at a time and taken away.
You can't burn anything at all in New York State until May 15th right now. And you'll find that you can't burn anything in this township either.
Yeah, there's a no burn for currently.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand that. So we would of course have to wait, but I'm working on it. I've only been working on it for about 3 weeks now. I'm approaching a few significant donors or sponsors, basically from Cooperstown. If you think about it, you might be able to figure out who I'm going to. And there's a few other people that I'm approaching. But again, I'm going to go to the fair board for the first time tomorrow to speak to them, and I will have a proposal probably by the end of next week. But I do have permission from the fair board to do this. I just have to present my ideas officially.
You're on your own with the shingles, but I'd say we're all right to push the thing into a pile for you, take the track over if it's okay with you guys.
Yep.
Well, the fair certainly does a lot for us. You
Yeah.
got 2 sand piles on them, and wherever you go, you would have an awful time trying to sand your winter roads with no sand piles.
It's awful nice to have that right next door to our shop, and we appreciate the fair letting us keep our sand piles there, and we have no problems helping the fair out. We'll take the track loader down, push it in the pile for you.
You know you'll have fun doing it too. But I'll be sure to express your gratitude to the fair when I see them tomorrow.
Just take a sheep out first.
Oh, no worries, there's no sheep for her.
No sheep for her, no process.
Yep, that's actually another thing about the building. Most of the buildings at the fairgrounds, they rent it out for space during the year, and sheep barn they cannot do anything with during the year because all the pens are permanent, you can't move them. If you go down to the pig barn right now, there's like 7 campers parked in there. Sheep barn, nothing. So, they don't make any money off of it
The
anyway.
fair's all right.
The fair will work.
We'll just take the track loader down so we don't blow up any tires and shove it into a pile for them. Looks of that building, it's not gonna take long. It's a goner.
Anybody else?
Yes, we're here, fire district. I guess Hank was here when you did your joint meeting back in it must have been December. And what we're talking about is the bell on the roof of this building and retrieving it, and it's a piece of history, obviously. From what I understand, the inspection that some of the pros from Dover that got up in there, moved the refrigerator out and everything, the roof is pretty tough shape up there, I understand. And there was some discussion at the commissioners meeting tonight about approaching the village and town boards. If you guys and the village board had talked about repairing that roof, at that point, getting the bell off there. And I don't know, we just kind of here to find out where you're at with that project, if there's things gonna move forward this summer. We'd like to be involved, in the process, we'd like to get the bells.
When we're moving the bell off from there, you're gonna have, we're not sure what kind of an opening. Whether we're gonna throw a blue tarp over it until your people come in, or maybe you're gonna put your roof repairs off another year, or whatever, we just wanna know where you folks are in regards to the roof project.
Well, we haven't even gotten an estimate yet.
Okay, so we've got at least 30 days to work on it.
Yeah. you got
Okay,
it.
good.
Sure. I mean, I do kind of lead Diana, Pete, is John, or we catch up with you and find out where we're at, with it.
As far as getting it, a contractor in, I haven't done anything.
Yeah, no, but I mean-
Investigation on it yet.
Yeah.
Don't point at me, say my name. I'm out of that one.
We get a big, long ladder, and you can carry that down for us. What our project, just sort
But
of, the folks,
basically, the bell, the removal of the bell is, you want to store it over there and
what we want to do is, Hank and I are a committee of 2, aren't we lucky? To retrieve the bell. They tell me that, and I've only heard it ring once years ago, it has a distinct sound like none of the churches have. You can identify it very clearly. What we would like to do is something across the street, almost a beautification project, possibility of, and now this is a possibility, please don't anybody hold me to it, possibility of some kind of electric sign that the fire department could use, the community could use. You got a Rotary chicken and biscuit dinner. Rotary puts it up on there. I understand the way they work is it's kind of a computerized thing. A boil water order, okay? Buddy Burdick says the water's unsafe, we gotta get the word out. Okay, boom, we put that on there. During the floods, we left numerous instructions and what have you. So it would be ornamental, but also would serve the purpose of the fire district, village, town, ongoing we hope, but
Now,
this
the bell would be in conjunction with all
is
that.
incorporated if possible.
Kind of close it in like you did the wind tracker so somebody doesn't,
Oh, yeah, it'd be theft proof.
yes, that's what I mean. It's pretty valuable, somebody get their hands on it.
It is some kind of brass bell and with inscriptions on it, but it was pretty dark and couldn't exactly read what it said on it.
Do not touch this bell.
Very.
And I wasn't here in 1885 when they put it up.
Is it possible to have something like that, like Guy Ratchland Park's become like a historic park in the village? Already has the Lynn Tractor Building, and if we do something with a bell there and some of the other artifacts from the
We're gonna have to have a couple more chicken biscuit dinners.
But, yeah, okay, so,
But the committee's working on this different aspects of whether the bell would be over here or be over like where the road marker is placed there by the sidewalk. You know, expanding that wall a little bit and putting something there, or having a cupola, or who knows what. Depends on how big the check is that we get. So that's where we are anyway.
I shall let you know.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Underway.
Thank you, folks.
Just while you guys are here, regarding that letter you received from the South Berlin,
Oh, yes.
Yes.
can you explain what the background is or what's going
Where'd that
on?
all come from?
You've seen copies of the letter.
Yeah, just
The
tonight.
the copy of the letter that we received from the South New Berlin Fire District basically said that somehow they got some information. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I said that, but, I mean, nobody hears about it, I guess.
No. I guess it sounds to
Just
me like it's
wishful thinking.
unfounded. We have received no reply to our letter.
Wishful thinking to pick up more tax base for them.
Absolutely it is.
That's what they're looking for, I think.
Information we have is that's
And-
the root of what's going
And
on.
what we're looking at is, well, protecting the people and their property. Mileage-wise, what that letter was proposing is like almost within a tenth of a mile of being in the middle. Our chief and a couple of members took our 3 trucks and started from here and timed how long it took to get to that furthest point in our district now, and then continued on to South of Berlin, went to their station, turned around and drove back up. And the time frame worked out so that where the boundary is now was halfway. And the proposal, it would be a lot more time for the South of Berlin to reach Sweet Road than it would be us to.
And you give up the tax base here,
Yes.
your bond issues and everything else are tied to the tax base, is that what I'm assuming that too?
I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
But this letter didn't state that, as you
No,
saw.
well, not for them, but I'm saying as far as you people go, you borrow money and,
Oh, yes.
and you pay it back on anticipated revenue from the tax base.
As near as we can figure out, there's no fire commissioners, there's no firefighters that have made any of these statements, so I don't know where it came from.
If anyone would have any complaints, it should be the town of Pittsfield, because, I mean, our line is right there by John Law's. You know, like 3 guy with a good baseball arm could reach it in about 3 throws, you know.
Yeah.
And,
We went through that one for Maple Grove, you know, we did all those calculations out, and we did dollar-wise, when they got all done, they were gonna be paying about 3 times as much for fire protection as they did from here, so we
Yeah.
really did a lot of calculation there.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Welcome back, man.
Yeah. Yeah, where'd the warm weather go?
It's you guys, all the snowbirds came back. The warm weather went.
That's what the letter says.
Any others?
Well, I was going to ask something, Kate, but I see that you're going to address the vacancy of a councilman, the resignation of a councilman. Is that
Yes.
where you're moving to now?
Yes.
Okay. Can I ask something about that before you, or you speak?
You can ask, but I can't guarantee you an answer.
Okay. I'll just ask. Can you confirm that Mike Walling has resigned from the board?
You have more?
Yes, but it's a follow-up question. The next part is, as of what date? And what does the board intend to do about the vacancy?
That will be forthcoming.
Okay, I'm done.
Great. Bills.
She evidently takes over Tom Smith.
She's doing the baseball.
Okay.
At the,
To make any different changes for an official committee or?
We will probably, I have not heard anything from Tom Smith as far as not doing it anymore.
Okay,
So
she
I
told me
guess
at Rotary she was, so I, that's-
she's doing the spring baseball. They do delegate to different people to do different things.
Yeah, I just didn't know how it comes down, I didn't say anything one or the other. This is a sign fee?
What's that? What's it read on it? It was purchased by
Court seal,
your
diamond panel, tattoo shape.
visiting justice.
This is courts. Oh, I got you.
I did not give approval to purchase it.
Something in the courtroom. I did see that it was signed just about.
It's in the actual courtroom.
It's
It's a round sign in the courtroom, in Morristown Court, and it has the, that insignia that goes with the court.
So it stays there, when he leaves, it's not gonna go.
Mhm. I think it's the unified court system, and
These people know it's North Courtney. That must be, also, if you're a butchie, it was me at a stop sign ticket on it with him. You can't believe the amount of people come in there that had tickets from a long time ago that they had no records of where they were this and that, and they're trying to clean them off. There's some mess to clean up, get stripped down, it was just unbelievable.
The handicap chair service.
Oh, okay.
Annual service.
Okay, they can fix it. was down this year, wasn't it? Around another snow shovel bill. Yeah. Not many phone calls. Get ready down.
Hard and chain. We need top shelf.
Where'd you find it? How much, $1,000, $1 foot?
Well, that's the bulk of it.
Oh.
Probably 2 months ago, the chain came out.
I was just saying.
It's a 2-foot bulk cutters we had. 2-foot, we had 2-foot bulk cutters, they didn't make it.
Yeah.
We got some 3/4. With the good ones. Everybody got something different. Tom, Dave doesn't mind the vest, Wayne doesn't mind the vest, but Tom and John got shirts with the reflective right on it. Everybody submitted the dollar amount, made up the difference on their own. But thank you for chipping in towards it. See it. The spreader tree, that's for the pickup spreader. At 6 years old, chain finally went.
And all that stuff on it, it's not surprising.
Yeah, put some salts, tough on stuff first. Just the new Lisbon truck.
Steering shaft on it?
That thing is in every month. Something.
No, it seems to be. How much we can do by the house, and there's
Air fittings.
get worse problems.
What's that?
It's just not much we can do about it now, so nurse it. If you get worse problems, you gotta take care of hers.
Yeah. That's for plows and truck boxes. Yeah, it's a That's that particular one is the one that the county, probably about half a town to do. No, roughly. Yeah. Oh, we got some of the spray.
What'd you find?
Salesman came down and told us other people that had used it, so we called a couple of the other towns and they met good enough with us, so we went ahead and.
Yeah, I can't find it locally.
No.
You have to get it to the manufacturer.
I think that came in from Florida.
Yeah.
Something else steel, isn't it?
10 grand off the face of last year.
Yeah.
Even with the price difference,
But still.
if there's no snow.
Motion authorizing the supervisor to pay the other bills. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. There was a gentleman that was supposed to be here tonight, but he canceled. He owns a company, G Land Recovery, which is a electronics recycling type of thing, and he is looking to have a spot at our transfer station where they can put people can put electronics.
Like computers and
Yes.
TVs and that kind of thing, that you're saying?
So he may be here at the next meeting. Everybody's got a letter from Mike. Tendering his resignation from the board effective March 31st, 2012. That leaves a vacancy on the board.
I'll make a motion to regretfully accept his resignation.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resignation accepted. As far as filling vacancies, the board may appoint somebody to fill a vacancy through the remainder of the year. The position becomes available to be filled at the next general election. Anybody have comments?
The only comment that I will make is that, and you were also, it's a very good, able young man sitting in the back of the room that's...
Okay, before, let me just
Okay.
interrupt you. I feel that nobody has to be appointed tonight. Nobody has to be appointed at all. Okay? The decision should be a thought-through one, and whether individuals should be interviewed and considered, or whether anybody will be considered. Is the way to go. we can contemplate it and talk about it next meeting. Go from there. All right? The next vacancy is our town attorney. As of April 20th, he's no longer doing anything. In essence, he's not really doing anything right now. Attached to the letter is a kind of the company that is the law office that's coming in to use his facility there, Slaughter and Birch out of Cooperstown. Again. This is another thing that we're going to have to look into, see what we want as far as legal service. Right now, we're in the process with the law, with the Delta program. There are a couple of attorneys locally, one out of Unadilla, one out of Oneonta, that are up to speed, that have been to most all the meetings at the county level for the past year about this process. Whoever comes in new here may not have a clue. Something to contemplate is whether we want to contact a couple of these attorneys, see if they'll do this work for us now, and figure out what to do later on as far as general town attorney that we would use, like we did in town. If so desired, I can contact the two attorneys I know. Beth Westfall, she is attorney for the town of Unadilla, town of Otillo. Dave Merzick is city of Oneonta, and a couple other townships. And they've been to all the meetings I've been to with Delta Engineering, and they're up to speed.
And where is that standing? It's been 6-8 months.
It's been longer than 6-8 months. We're heading into a year. What we have to do now is go through the process of adopting the law.
But that was coming to the county, and they were going to write a recommendation, and how we go write it up? Is that where it's at? I mean,
There's a template that was drawn up by the lawyers that were contracted with in conjunction with the engineering part. The engineering part is basically done. The training part, John and I went through the training part last month. What we have to do now is go through the formal process of making sure the law is what we want and adopting it. And that's why I feel these two attorneys are a good choice, because they've been involved with it right along. And, they have an understanding of what's going on. I can see if they are available and see what the cost would be to the town. And
whatever it is, it's It'd be better than losing our roads.
Bring it up at the next meeting.
Yeah, well, we gotta do something.
Those are the two I know. Does anybody know of anybody else? And they've been the most active as far as I've seen.
Delta project.
We've always got, we can always change after this is done anyhow, so.
Correct. Well, it would be
Wouldn't have to harm us town attorney, we could
Correct.
harm us with the individual.
for the particular thing. Dave Merzick is also doing the Southern Borough Water District for the town of Butternut. So he's twofold familiar. Okay, and the only other thing I had was the correspondence with the fire commissioners, and we already went over that with Ted. And that's all I have. The finance committee met prior to the meeting and reviewed the supervisors and clerk collectors' financial reports for the month of March 2012. All right.
Well, we've applied for mitigation in 3 locations. Peg Road down by your shop, Filer, which is knocked out again, and the tube at the bottom of Pitsley down at Demicalo. There's no telling if they're going to come through or anything, but we're applied for it, and we'll see what comes of it. We've also applied for an additional $24,000 worth of FEMA, which would be the 25% that they initially weren't going to pay, and the couple of jobs that they kicked out because they were seasonal. Who knows if we're going to get that either, but the applications are in. The county gave me a hydro study on the 3 places that we're in for mitigation for. Here's their results. They gave us a square footage of what the tube ought to be. And of course, we're way undersized in all 3 places. And
Now, you go to FEMA for that.
FEMA won't pay to
Okay, so who are you going to? The planning city one?
the state.
Okay. And they will go with a bigger size too?
That's what it's for. FEMA,
It's the feds have given New York State this $7-point-something million
stimulus
grant,
infrastructure grant.
and it's being administered through the HUD,
Okay.
Housing and Urban Development, and they're making how much, it's one of these things, if there's enough money left over, we're going to use it to offset the FEMA cost.
It's statewide, so we're sitting in the same boat with Schoharie County and Delaware County, so who knows what's going to happen, but at least we're applied for it, because
And it's prioritized, so naturally,
Yeah.
a town that was wiped out during the storms
Yeah.
is going to get more consideration than we are.
but it's to cover what wasn't covered with FEMA initially, too. I think Filer Hill's looking for a 8-inch tube, according to the county. We got an 8-foot tube. I'm
8
sorry.
foot, I was gonna say 8 inches.
I did say that. 8-foot tube. There's two 2-footers there now. And the math is about the same for the other 2 locations. They're drastically undersized. What else we got? Chips. The state budget went through. We're at 193, 785, 89 for our CHIPS account at the moment. I got sand and gravel quotes from Burrell, Seward, and Rick Pope. And I have all those prices if you want to see them. Delivery, they're talking like $90 a load. If you use the FEMA number for a truck and a guy, it's about $80 an hour. So if they're bringing triaxles 15 yards, it's worth it to have them bring it. They're running, you know, I don't have a lot of details on that, but
Now, did you get one from Vice this year? Because last year you got some stuff out of Vice.
Vice is
Closed up?
closed up, yeah. That's what I've heard anyway.
Yeah, you went over there last year, got some, because some stuff is a little cheaper, huh?
Yeah. Beisler's looking to be the cheapest on most of the stuff, except for sand. Opie's cheapest on sand, so. Burrell and Beisler are right next to each other. They're both over on 80.
Yeah.
And Opie's down in Monmouth. Now, coal patch, we're prepping our roads to be sealed, and the ones that aren't going to be sealed, trying to keep them together until it's their turn to get sealed. That's about $90 a ton. Thursday, 2 days from today, Vestal's going to have their pug mill over in Pittsfield's yard. And if we buy the stone, have it taken to Pittsfield, we can club in with them on the rental of the pug mill. And Vestal's bringing up the oil anyway. We can get coal patch for about $40, $42 a ton. So it's less than half the normal price. I think we could go through 100 ton relatively easily.
Put it on the grader and roll it.
Yeah. So we're looking at $4,000 versus 9,500. If that's okay with you guys, I can call in the morning, get the stone down to Pittsfield's yard, and we can have a pile of coal mix mixed right up and sitting in Pittsfield instead of going to West Oneonta after it. And
Now that includes the stone price,
yeah, that includes the stone. The stone's maybe 12, and the mill and everything else is 20 some added together, so it's less than half the price for the finished product. That's all right with you guys, I'd like to do that.
Store it, I think it's a good idea.
Doug Long, he's nice enough to offer us to club in with him, and we can keep our coal patch right on his yard until we go after it. That's good with you guys. I can arrange that in the morning.
I would make a motion to do so.
All in favor?
Aye.
I also have specs for a truck. And I have specs for dressing it with a box and plow and wing tanks and whatnot, if you want to see that. Also, that's a truck that Pittsfield bought last year with their price off state bid. We're probably looking at maybe $5,000 more than that. And the difference between this truck and that would be a 23,000 pound front axle instead of 20, a 52,000 pound rear end instead of a 46, and a stainless steel dump body instead of a painted steel. The two the two single axle trucks we have now, the one's on 88, one's on 93, they're both on their second dump box. And for, I believe it's $7,000 more, we can go stainless and try to get the box to last the length of the truck, and with the heavier axles on it and heavier undercarriage on it, might improve its chances of making it 25 years. If we're going to go with approximately a 5-year rotation.
So did, when you talked to your guy that wrote the specs, you told them about the carrying the wing and everything, so they was stringing that front end heavier?
Yeah.
Good. That's what does it, man.
Did he price it?
He said maybe 119, and he's the cabin chassis. And then dressing it is 80, 90 range. So it's like 205, 210, 195, somewhere in
They were
somewhere in
195
there.
last year.
And then Pittsfield gave me the specs of the truck they got last fall. I have that food right there. That was 195 for the.
As far as knowing the specs on the springs and stuff outside of heavier, talk to somebody at Perry job, Perry looked at them?
No, I just got them in. I got half of it yesterday and half of it today. You want to look through our specs?
Huh?
You want to look through our specs on a truck?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay.
Set up a few of them and Frank.
Is this straight axle or tandem?
Tandem.
Tandem.
So what's we to do about Little Filer?
You're submitting that, right now, as of now, you're submitting that to this other program?
To get it built, to get it fixed right, which I can't remember whether it's an 8 or 10 foot tube. They give you the square footage of water volume, and you got to run it through the formula.
I think that one was a 10 foot.
I think so. How much? One was an 8, one was a 10, and one was a 15. I know the Pitsley was a 15. It's got like a 3.5 in it now.
Pitsley? No,
Five.
it's 8 foot.
It's
About
not
8, and it's about 1/3 the size it needs to be.
Well, 15 I think is what it needs. Yours has the 3?
No, it's about 2.5. Plus it's salt.
Little Filer's 2 twos, I know that. I actually did measure them.
Well, up at the shops, it's got a tube inside of the concrete.
Yeah, the buffets are probably about 12 foot apart. But the watershed study on that was an 8 or a 10 or something like that. It was definitely. What is it now?
It's like 2 or 3. It's not, and it's not a full tube. It's all, it's not 2 feet right now.
Right. So, of course, the Pitsley and Peg Road are fine at the moment. It's coming. It's going to get them again. But at the moment, they're fine. But at the moment, Filer's not passable. But it's.
Are you talking about the, way down by Maple Grove, the two?
Little Filer, yeah.
Yeah, the two tubes together.
Yeah, that's gone again. It rained 2 weeks ago and took it out.
Oh,
How much distance from the tube to either hard road?
From the tubes to 10 is maybe 100 yards, and from the tubes to the four corners is maybe 500 yards?
That's where people are.
Yeah, it's ways up that hill,
That's
yeah.
ways up this ways.
5, 6.
The other side's short, that's why I asked him on the short side if he.
Well, that,
both
you know,
sides.
that'd be the ideal way, is to pull the stuff right out.
Pull it out,
and
close the one side.
Close, like we did with West Street.
Put a turnaround.
With turnaround, you have an upper and lower.
Or try to close it, or make a proposal to close that upper end of it. And if nobody says anything about it, I mean, you have to contact the landowner so they know, but if they don't say anything about it, then just close it from there up. You got two people with frontage on the county road that just goes down there, there's no other pieces of property behind it, right? So it's just the two people off the hard road that go to the creek, close the sucker completely. If we get away, you know.
If we could close the upper end, have the turnaround on the 10 side,
No, have it turn around on the long side.
and abandon the 10 side.
That's the side that only two people, only two property owners own, and they both border the main road.
Okay.
But,
Do they come back across the stream so you can access their property from the upper side? So they both still have access to their property if we only kept the upper part of that road.
what he's saying? Yeah, that would work.
So let's take those two tubes out, put a
Well,
turnaround on it.
But you can't do it, you can't do it quite like that. You gotta advertise it,
I'm a rookie.
you gotta give them a chance to respond, and
All I know is there's no sense in fixing it like it was. Didn't rain that hard 2 weeks ago. Hmm?
It's a half inch.
Yeah.
you can leave it locked off for now, if your signs up.
Yeah, we got 2 loads of gravel either end with road close signs, you know. Can't get through there if you wanted to.
But Pete goes through the process and see what happens. Then you got some options, you see what happens if they have to go through, or you just make them both dead end if you can't do anything else. But that'd be a pain in that way, you're going down in there just dead end on that one short slice.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awful. What do you think our chances are? Mitigation. Poor?
I don't think we're gonna see much. We're not getting a lot of, especially on a seasonal road, when there are major roads in
FEMA wouldn't
Spencer
cover
and Delaware County that need more attention than a seasonal road.
FEMA didn't cover it at all.
Yeah,
Spruce Street, Flower.
They can say, well, it's available, you can apply for it. But I would not hold my breath. If we get anything out of it, I think we'd be very, very lucky.
My suggestion is try to close the short end, make the other one a dead end.
That makes the most sense.
Save a lot of money in the future.
Now, as far as there's no buildings or anything that,
The field isn't worked anymore, it's coming up brush, no buildings, you don't mow it, nothing.
could be used as a shortcut for any ambulance or fire.
No, I hope not. No, there's no way that's faster than going anyway to get there. There's a cow path.
I'll make that motion to start those proceedings. For the second one.
Well, I'll look into it and see what we need to do. I've never, you get involved in closing a road, I've never done that.
7 of them at once. Were you on board then, right?
Just at the end of it, with the attempted one that didn't make it.
Yeah, one didn't make it,
What'd
6
you get?
did.
Really, it was 6 and 1?
And then there were some other ones earlier years I was on board, and that one was the only one that
So was the one. Square. Oh, boy. Squires looks like I-88 compared to Little Pilot. That made it through everything, no problem.
Well, we put a bigger tube in there after the 06 flood. It got washed out, and FEMA paid for us to put a bigger tube in there.
Really?
Yeah, it's got plastic tubing in there.
They don't do that anymore.
No. With 06, they would let us go
One size bigger or something.
one or two sizes larger, and that was the theory that it would prevent future, help to prevent future condition. At this time around.
John, tell them about your other issue you have with the sluices being so bad. You told me that the sluices all being rotted out on the side.
All the metal, we got, how many is there, about 10, 12?
Well, at the transfer station?
No, out,
Oh, on the road.
yeah, on the roads, there's probably about 10 of them. The metal sluices, old galvanized sluices, the bottom rots out of them. And we got about 10 of them that the sides rotted out of.
Well, that was old gas pipes. When the bottom ran up, we just turned them 180 degrees.
Dig them up, quarter turn, bury them again.
Anybody goes through that sucker, and if that happened, we got some liability.
Well, they're the steel, the gas pipe. They're pretty stout. But
So they, of course, they have them the side rut.
the problem is
They
with a lot
can
of
sit
water
with
rush.
press and all that time to dig the thing out.
They were put in 60, between 65 and 70.
Yeah, but they weren't turned then, Perry.
Yeah.
They weren't turned then.
No, no.
Did you ever dig one up, give it a quarter turn, bury it again?
No, we put them in, back then, we put them in new. We got the
One
side.
time they got dug up and turned a quarter turn, and
Yeah,
We can take a dozen of them that are rotted out on the side. But we're identifying problems and we're taking them out or trying to fix it everything we can. I've got nothing else.
I'd like to say this before we get off the highway. I'd like to say that I think as a person who's been doing a lot of observing, that John's doing one heck of a job. We could be pretty glad we've got him in there right now. He's got the roads about half honed. That didn't even get honed in the last year and a half or so. And they're about half worked up. He's got them going. He's got some problems fixed. I think he's doing a heck of a job for us. So I would just like to have that noted.
Thank you. Well, it's not me, I got a lot of help. You got a good crew.
a good crew has to have a leader though. And that helps.
Oh, so what do you want me to do about the truck?
Yes. Where are we at? Ready to bid it?
Transportation committee meeting?
That's the only quote that you got.
Well, you
That's
gotta
a
bid
bid.
it. We gotta officially bid it.
It's not a quote. That's why I don't have a dollar amount for you.
Exact dollar, but he doesn't have to
Specs.
do the price.
We'll have to get it together and put it out for bid. If you're not gonna get it off the state,
Well, I don't see a reason to. I think for the same money, we can get a better truck, not going through state bid. I believe.
What, I don't, then there isn't a state bid right now on a truck,
Yeah, there
is
is.
there? Is there?
and then they didn't bid anything close.
Yeah, the stuff on the state bid is 66,000 pound trucks with,
But it's not close to the specs that we have here.
no, but the money is. You know, the money's close, but they're lesser trucks, honestly.
The time you put a stainless steel box on one, you probably have about the same. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but if if you took a state spec truck and
Up the spring.
up the springs and
Your axles.
and axles, you're talking 20, 30, 40 grand more than I think we can spec it out at.
We're also gonna have to do a permissive referendum
To transfer the money
to
back.
use money, yeah. So
That's in the savings fund.
yeah, that's in the capital
Right.
target as well.
What do you want the chips to go towards?
Well, that's what we're trying to determine. Now, you got some figures. We were trying to get a highway committee together so we could, he got some of this other stuff done and we can sit down and set down some of the things you've got and how much money you got, others for sealing roads and
Because
what we're trying to help you with. but
that was our dollar amount as of April 1st, and it's never happened before, but.
You don't want to spend all that CHIPS money for that.
I know, but,
We got roads to take care of and everything. We got other money.
well, you can use chips for sealing too,
Well, you gotta be careful how you do it.
No,
because it doesn't.
it has to have a 10-year lifespan. What's happening on East Side Drive, or East Side, yeah,
Backward road.
that is actual paving, though it was, they call it shimming, but it's paving.
True and level shipping first.
And that, the life of that should be 10 years. Sealing is a 5-year deal.
You have to have the assumption that it's gonna last 10 years
For CHIPS.
for chips, and sealing is kind of maintenance.
Yeah,
It's like painting a
Now,
barn.
they used to have operation maintenance in that not any longer.
Now, the state can just say, we're taking that back,
If you don't use it.
right, at any moment.
Yeah.
Well,
Do it till next
That's
year.
what my handbook said.
the budget, once the budget gets passed, did you get the letter from,
No, but a couple of the other towns have, so I called Binghamton and they said it's in effective April 1st.
okay. So, what we didn't use last year is all reallocated.
There's,
He gave you this figure, the 193.
yeah, 93 from this year, 92 from last year, and 7 from the year before that.
Why don't we get together, we have the specs, we know what we got for chips, and just look at the stuff.
Then we give him some
Yeah.
benchmarks.
It's a good day for,
And any day in the afternoon, as long as I know.
You name it, and I'll be there.
Get me into next week, it'll be all right.
Just tell me and I'll be there.
what, next week?
Yeah, next week's fine.
Well, why don't we do it here?
Okay.
The figures are easy to work on.
Got a day?
Okay.
Leave me check and get.
Just give me a little lead time, so.
Yeah, we're looking at the afternoon. Yeah. What time?
12 down.
2 o'clock.
You want to do whenever. You say just give me a little lead time so I don't book. It's only 2 or 3 days ahead, that's all.
Any other business?
I guess I still would just like to make the comment to put on there that personally, this is my personal feeling, that we should go with a 5-member board, settle any disputes or anything else. It's just my personal opinion, I want it in there for record.
If nothing else, I'll make a motion
Is there a second? All in favor? Meeting adjourned.